YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. QB family, welcome back. If you are a new subscriber, hey girl. And if you are a returning subscriber, you know we love you here at QB's. Welcome back. It's always good to see you guys here supporting the channel, doing views, commenting down below, liking the video. Please be sure to like the video as soon as you come in. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, we had some shenanigans when it came to the basket sales. I will admit, it took me a couple of days to come out because I just did not hit my financial goal that I was going for, and I had to explain. I said, okay, if I come out here, well, let's say I come out with 5 or 10 baskets. I could have the mindset to just come out of here with 5 or 10 baskets. But for me to reach the financial goals that I'm looking for or that I want to reach, I have to open up my mind to doing more baskets. And there's nothing wrong with 5 or 10 baskets because you can have 5 baskets at $100 each and make $500. You can have 5 baskets that's $250, depending on how you price your baskets. But what I was trying to explain was that I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to put a cap on myself and what I think I can do. And each time I'm doing stuff, I want to kind of increase a little bit more than I did the last time, so that I can start hitting these significant numbers that I really, really like to see and I know that I can achieve in my business. So it was pretty disappointing, that I really didn't hit those numbers, you know, and I was in my feelings, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I was feeling really down, and I had a bunch of support. So let's get this out the way. My sister was telling me how proud she was of me that I was getting out there doing my thing. My daughter-in-law was telling me the same thing, like, hey, you was out there doing it, so, be proud of yourself. It wasn't a loss, but to me, I felt like it was an L because I didn't hit those numbers. As well as my son, my daughter, they just letting me know, like, hey, there was a time in your life when you was out there and you didn't make no sales. I'm always talking about how gift basket selling can be the long game. You could be out there, you can have a really beautiful table, a beautiful setup. Even the birds agree, okay, you hear them? But you can do all of these things and not make a sale. So as the designer, it can be a bit, like, make you feel some type of way. And sometimes you could be out there and just completely sell out. And I've experienced both. I experienced the highs of gift basket selling as well as the lows. So this last time here with Mother's Day, I gave myself a solid 3 days into the hustle, I didn't just go out on Mother's Day. I went out a few days ahead of time, selling. And the truth is, every day I went out, I made sales. It's just I didn't hit the financial goal that I wanted to hit. And it meant I brought home some baskets. But after a couple of days of thinking and really just, like, I had to process it, you guys, to be honest. I had to go through my feelings, feel away, and then start to understand the humbleness of life. Sometimes we just don't hit the places that we're really trying to get to, but it doesn't mean you don't have success along the way. And I had a lot of success over the last 3 days. You know, Getting to see people that had not seen me in a while in the area because they know I used to hustle over there and I used to sell over there, actually making sales. I had a couple of things where I literally sold out. Like, I saw that my cups was really, really popular. Those designs went and they were very nice. So I had some wins in the midst of what I felt was an L, you know, but that everything actually worked out. I just had to kind of process it. So while I didn't hit the number that I was really hoping to hit, your girl still hit some numbers, honey. So that was a blessing, you know. And it was a blessing how everything went down. I told you the van rental was smooth. The van was really nice. I know I talked about it in my last two videos, but that was a really great experience. And I know moving forward what I could do, you know, in the next time that I set up for an event, whatever it is I'm doing, I know how I can move. You know, I am still in the process of looking for a car. You know, I've been busy with that as well. I'm not just going out there and jumping on anything like I may have done in the past. I'm putting more thought process into that because I want to make sure it's the right fit for me as well as my business as well as my family. You know, so I'm letting you guys know I am working on that behind the scenes. I don't know if you would like to see any videos in regards to that, but I'm definitely working on it. And that is totally okay, you guys, if you didn't hit your number, or it's totally great if you did hit your number. But I think the moral of the story is to just keep moving forward, keep pressing on, you know, because you're going to have times where it's going to be really awesome. And you may have times where you can be like, you know, got me feeling the way. You know, and even though the customer was difficult, when she came back that second time, she was more talkative the second time. And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm just really, really picky. You know, and that might have softened my heart a bit because when she left the table the first time, honey, I was like, you, your money, and whatever else you want could get on, for real, for real. You know, because you don't know what it took for me to get out there in the first place or the challenges that I've faced to even make it out there to street sales. You know, it's a lot of creators that got a lot of great ideas that maybe not get out there like that. So it was a lot for me to get there. And I will admit she had me in my feelings, but I didn't show it to her. I was still, you know, maintaining great customer service, answering her questions, and really trying my best to understand why she came to the table the way she did. But when she came back, she was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm really picky. It's hard to pick for people. And I was just basically telling her, don't overstress yourself. Don't overthink it. Like, if you see something here you like to purchase, go ahead. But if you don't, that's totally okay. Like, it's, you know, it's more vendors around here. And I didn't have to tell her it was more vendors because you can, like, visually see it. You know, that I'm not the only person out there. You know, and then my daughter-in-law chimed in, too. And she's like, yeah, we understand. You know, it could be a little difficult. And with that being said, it softened my heart to kind of calm my nerves down because I was a little upset at her demeanor and how she came at me, but that we eventually ended up with the sale. And we didn't just sell her one basket, but she bought two, you know, so it ends up being great. And then right behind her, a young girl had came up to the table and she was like, I seen you guys setting up. So you know how the youngsters be saying that, spin the block. She spun the block, waited for us to set up, came back to us and purchased two baskets. So for every difficult person, you know, it's going to be somebody that come to your table that have the intention to spend. They ask you your prices. She really liked the items that she bought. She wished us a happy Mother's Day, which was awesome. And the experience just ended up being great overall. I did have a couple of hiccups. I told you about the security guard that was trying to take it there, but he didn't know I had already had permission. But I can literally hear God telling me, and plus I had it in my own spirit, like, hey, this location, while it seems great, is not the best location because I only had two sales. So it was time for me to move anyway. So that ends up working in my favor. So sometimes things will come in a negative way, but it ends up being for your good, you know, and I think that's the moral of the story as well. You know, so overall, I had a great experience out there. I worked really, really hard. So did my family. They worked with me the whole weekend. Even my 8-year-old grandson was out there supporting his grandma business. So it ends up being a family affair, you know. But that, yeah, everything ended up working as it should. So I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that QBs is still in the house. We're still moving forward. You know, that pretty much sums up my Mother's Day 3-day event. I could have been out there probably even sooner than that, but, you know, I wanted to get the rental for at least 3 days. to give myself exposure out there versus just the one day, you know, and see what I could do. And I am actually happy with my results, you know. But yeah, guys, just want to let you know how everything went. You know, what are your experiences? How did it go for you? I'm hoping that the vendors did have a great sellout, but if you didn't, it's totally okay, you guys. Just keep going, keep your faith up, because that's what I had to learn. And it took me a day or two to process it, but that I'm still in the game. You know, but if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up here at Cutie Pies Boutique. Subscribe to the channel and feel free to leave a comment if you like about what's happened with you over the Mother's Day weekend. How did you do? If you sold anything or if you're a customer. Have you had these experiences? Or what do you do when you do have someone that's a little difficult? How do you handle that? Turn on your post notifications so anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first to know. And also share the video if you like with someone you know that could benefit from this content. You hear the birds? They agree. But anyway, you guys, to the next video. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.